There's going to be, probably some wheeling and dealing. Brad Holmes right now, the Lions feature, I think, 7 picks across the landscape all 3 days. They could maneuver in spots where they don't have a pick. But for you, when the day's done, after those 3 long days of drafting and adding talent to this roster, what should the Lions' goals be for this 2025 draft?
I think the first one for me would find an immediate impact player as a pass rusher. You have to find someone that can impact the game immediately. And notice I said that instead of first round or second round, because if you want to take a guard at the first, you can still find a pretty good player in the second, but you got to get someone that can contribute right away for you. And you can also find someone that can contribute right away and be best player available. It doesn't have to be both. Just no more projects until you're getting later in the draft, and then you can decide what you want to do. So I think the number one goal should be finding an immediate impact as a pass rusher. And then the second thing is you got to walk away with some depth at offensive line. I think there's some question marks there. Now, you lost Kevin Zeitler and Mahogany steps up. But after that, like if Frank goes down, let's say Graham has to play center, you're sitting there at guard going, okay, is Giovanni Manu stepping in? So I think they have to find some immediate help at edge that can impact the game right away for you in a Super Bowl run. And then the second one to me would be find offensive line depth. And it could be left tackle. Unless they like Giovanni, then go guard or go center. So maybe Graham can stay at guard. They just need a little more depth there at center, in my opinion. But at the offensive line, in my opinion. But those are the two things, John. If they walk away and they accomplish those two things, I'm not as picky with the other positions or when they take other guys. I'm not. But those two things I desperately want as a Lions, someone who covers the Lions and as a Lions fan.
No doubt. Always enjoy talking ball. Half hour flies by, but I knew I wanted to get Jeff back on, making another appearance here on the Lone Wolves podcast. I just get a sense that, Jeff is somebody that definitely locked into the draft, paying attention. Definitely one of the great young broadcasters out there doing great things on the digital landscape, and definitely knows his stuff. And to pick his brain about the draft gives me insights as well as to what people want to invest in, look at. And you're absolutely right. It's been edge heavy, but at the same token, talking about some of those skill positions, I just think it's fair to introduce that idea. Would it be something that happens? I would be surprised, but at the same token, the joy of talking ball is you got to be open to Brad Holmes doing a lot of different things, especially when he says, I feel like the Lions have been pretty fair in their discussion of things. And they say, we don't really have to be, at this point in time, coming up a 15-win year, a needs-based team. But right. You do realize the edge rusher is a spot you want to have depth, and you can never, ever, and Brad said it, you can never, ever have enough pass rush help. One last thing. Have you closed the door on Trey Hendrickson? Is it over?
It's over.
It's over. I believe so too.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, the capital, I'm interested to see. I want to see him traded because I want to see what he would go for. That's what I'm interested in. And then you got to give him the extension. I don't think it's happening. I thought Myles Garrett, there was a chance because I wasn't sure if he was as, I guess, obsessed with the extension. We found out that's all a lie. He wanted the money. But at the time, I'm like, maybe he'll play with 2 years left. Yeah, the extension thing ain't going to work, John. You can't pay two guys $40 million.
It's tough. It's tough. But it's one of those deals where if you're going to make that push, maybe you are doing something a little bit different. Most Super Bowl teams don't draft 2 cornerbacks as rookies and have opportunities to play them. And so, you realize sometimes you got to do outside the box things. But I do think that draft and develop has been a great model for the Lions so far